Live from the Marvin Network, this is the BIS Podcast, where our goal is to bring you updates on technology changes and also local government to help you and your team grow. I'm your host, Josh Green, also joined by my co-host, Drew Whittington, and we are back for another edition of the BIS Podcast, where on today's episode, we'll be chatting with the new training department manager here at BIS, Jackie Martin. Once again, we thank you all for joining us, and just to let you know, our core value of the week is servitude. We put the client first. Drew, how you doing, my man? How's life and how we living?
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Life is grand. I got no complaints today.
I can't complain either. I mean, we are here, we're living. What more could you ask for? Am I right?
You know, I would ask for a amazing lady named Jackie Martin. If she was here, it would just make my day.
You know, I have that same feeling. I wonder if she could. Wait a minute. Oh, she is with us today. Hey, Jackie.
Jackie!
Hey, guys. How are you today?
Oh, I'm
What's
great.
up?
You know, we needed to brighten our day a little bit, Drew, and here we have the most brightest person in the office, Jackie Martin, joining us here today on the BIS podcast. Jackie, it is an honor. Again, we talk all the time, but an honor to have you on the podcast.
I am so glad to be here, Josh.
Right. Well, it's great to have you again. We're looking to go worldwide, and Drew, this is, I thought I knew we probably wouldn't do it with Britt and Brandon, but I think this is the one that's going to take us, over the hump.
100%.
Are you right?
I'm feeling you. This is the one that actually is really important. The one with Brandon and Brett, meh. It was meh. Because of them, not because of us. It was them.
We have the real pro here with us today.
What
more could you ask for?
She puts a pro
I
and
don't know
professional.
about
She puts a chief and chief appraiser.
Oh man, then I got a legend on. We got a legend on today.
A legend.
A legend indeed. Well, again, Jackie, we really appreciate you joining us here today. Again, you're kind of new to the BIS team, and the subject of our podcast today. Again, we're talking about the training department for BIS, and you're the head of that, and you're the kind of the brainchild with that. So I'm gonna kind of divert to you first, though, on what brought you to BIS and kind of a little bit of your background into coming here and what you're offering with the new training department.
Thanks, Josh. I have been so excited about this project. It's been a year in the making, something that is very close to my heart in the fact that I've worked in appraisal districts for over 26 years now in West Texas and see the needs that are out there, especially for rural appraisal districts. I've worked with BIS for a number of years and seen the excellent job that they do. It was such an exciting prospect in being able to come and work with them and be able to help chief appraisers by being that resource that they can have, that extra person in their corner to depend on in these very changing times, ever-changing times.
We're awesome, and we're glad to have you here, Jackie. Now, let me be honest with you. Is it, you love us so much to come work for BIS, or is it something that Britt and Brandon made you? This is the time to tell it now. Again, this goes worldwide, so you can get your, answer out there. If you need help, just say it.
Just say it. It's okay.
It's okay. Just say
I'm
it.
here 100% on my own will. Britt and Brandon are
I just
great
gotta know,
to
did they
work
promise
with.
you? Did they promise you your own monkey jacket? Is that what it was? Because those are.
I may or may not have been promised the jacket. Yes.
Okay. That's all you had to say. We're good.
Man, I've worked here longer than both of y'all. I don't get a monkey jacket.
Well, Josh, that's because we don't want you out of the office. We want you to stay at the office. No.
Hey, I want me to stay at the office too. I can't deny that. Well, Jackie, we talk about, you talk about, your history a little bit. What is your motivation now that you're here at BIS? What is your motivation really here with the training department and being the training manager? What's your motivation in going into doing this project?
I just want to be sure that I empower appraisal districts and the chief appraiser, their staff, and being able to meet the needs that are there at this time. There's so many changes in our industry at this point. We have baby boomers retiring and a new generation of property tax professionals coming up. BIS has been there throughout these past 15 years and being able to support the baby boomers and appraisal districts as a whole in BIS has been there to support appraisal districts and wants to be sure that these new chief appraisers have what they need to be able to be successful. We want to set them up for success. And my job is to fill in the gaps to support the existing training services that are out there. One of the reasons that I feel like this is the time for the training department to really expand is that Texas is under an unprecedented real estate boom across the entire state. Values have increased across the board in all categories, and it's created a lot of attention. Of course, with appraisal districts, our attention is generally not the most fabulous. Most of the time it's more we're in the line of fire, so to speak, but what we do is so important. And what these changes have done is raise the bar on all of our processes and our public relations to be sure that we reach out to the people and make sure they understand why we do the job that we do and the mandates that we're required to follow. One of my other real motivators in being here was to help the appraisal districts with their map reviews, their property value studies, and to make sure that if there's new consequences like the targeted map review coming up this fall, that I might be of assistance prior to that to help an appraisal district really find their way in making the improvements necessary to move forward in a good manner.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, okay, so I'm a little bit new to chief appraisers with appraisal districts. Can you explain what the targeted map review is, please?
Sure, Drew. The targeted map review is a new audit that will come about this fall. Its primary objective is just to find out what is happening with an appraisal district that there's unsuccessful property value studies or map reviews. Appraisal districts with a school district receiving state funding in the property value study for the past 3 years will undergo this new audit this fall. Possibly appraisal districts failing the map review will also undergo this process if their school district was out of the competence interval on their property value study this year. The criteria hasn't been released by the comptroller yet, but I'm sure it's going to be extensive to determine the reasons why the appraisal district is having difficulty. I write more about this in my next blog. There's probably about 151 or so school districts with preliminary findings receiving the invalid finding for the 3rd year in a row, which will result in that state value certification. This could put the school district at risk of losing state funding. With there being, roughly about 20% of our school districts undergoing these difficulties, when a school district receives invalid findings, Drew, their sales from the prior year indicate that their values have not met the criteria necessary to achieve local value for that school district. We're required to be at 95 to 105% overall in our ratio study. And again, with Texas being in the value boom that it's in right now, it has made that more difficult than in the past.
Well, can you tell us about some of the services that BIS is going to be offering that a chief could possibly sign up for?
Sure. We want to offer reinforcement to empower these CADs to have what they need for their own protection in these situations. A chief appraiser takes on so much responsibility, and it's my goal to help that chief appraiser through these challenging times. One of our options is board of directors training. I want to offer materials that summarize the Comptroller's Appraisal District Board of Directors Manual to offer some true to life stories in what I've encountered with board of directors and what you want to be sure to pass along to them. I can participate in this process or just simply provide the resources so a chief appraiser can be sure that they've done everything they can to get on the same page with their board concerning budget matters, and overall responsibilities and what we need to operate the district successfully. Another tool that I offer is running your office to code. I offer helpful support in your budgeting purposes, making sure that you're running your office specific to what's required within the map review, and just making sure you have the best practices data available to you with statistics, your priority deadlines to give you a heads up throughout the year. My third tool that I'm most excited about is our on-site training. I feel this gives me the opportunity to work one-on-one with the chief appraiser to give them a fresh set of eyes in looking at their organization and identifying any potential red flags before they happen. We work together in looking at their priorities at the time, going through my support materials and what might give them an extra tool to be able to use. I can review the reappraisal activities, their value estimates and certification procedures, and offer some QC checks, some quality control checks to identify potential red flags. We can review the map process, whether it be the original map process or what might occur in the targeted map review to be sure that they're ready and can identify what they need to move forward in a positive way.
Awesome, awesome. Well, tell us a little bit more about on-site training, Jackie. And you talk about it's your favorite tool, and you explained a lot, what it's about. But what can people expect more out of on-site training?
Well, I do put a strong emphasis in the materials that I provide after our one-on-one interview, the question and answers, just running through their priorities and what they're looking at for the year. I provide calendars, checklists, policy recommendations, and biennial plan best practices to aid them in meeting the ever-changing requirements that we have today.
Drew, I mean, we have really got a legend in our midst and a great, great employee here at BIS. She's already
Oh,
got my
thank
vote for
you.
Employee of the Year 2023.
Same here. Same here. Can we vote her for the next like 6 years? Because I think she
I'm
deserves it.
down. She's got my vote. All in favor? Aye. We have the majority
Aye.
here. Aye.
There we
So,
go. We're the majority. I like it. I like
Thanks,
it.
guys. I just want to reach out to the appraisal districts and make sure that they know that this service is available in addition to the many things that we offer at BIS. I just want to take the frustration out of reinventing the wheel every time the legislature meets. We want to be able to give the chiefs a heads up whenever there are legislative changes and the timeline involved in that. It's just important to me that I stick with the BIS mission and just simplify the client's IT needs with old school customer service. That's my purpose. And I hope that the appraisal districts will keep an eye out for more information on upcoming resources and tools that we offer, and that I'm able to visit with each of you.
Well, that's awesome. As we're coming to a close, how would someone reach out to you, Miss Jackie, and get a hold of you if they have any other questions for you?
Absolutely. Well, I'm available through email. You can reach out to me at jmartin@bisconsultants.com with your questions, and I can give you a call, or you can call me at 469-209-7844.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, Josh, this has been an awesome event. I'm so glad to have this. I'm looking forward to all these future podcasts with Jackie, her teaching us more and more about the appraisal districts.
can we just have her on every week? Can we go ahead and make that?
Can we do that?
Can we do that?
I think we
You'll
can.
invite me back.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
invite you back. You're invited back anytime you want to be. You just pop in and we'll let you in. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not like they can tell us what to do, right, Drew?
Right, exactly. We are
Thanks, guys.
we are here for you. We're not the
We are
bosses, but we're here.
We are here. Well, I mean, we're bosses in our own right.
And maybe in our own mind. There you go. As long
Definitely
as
in
my
my own
wife
mind.
says so. As
Yeah,
long
there
as my
you
wife
go.
says so.
I feel as long as my fiance says that, at points, I'm good with that. Just to make me feel just a little bit better every day.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackie, you had to endure us, but you've done a great
Oh
job. We
no,
thank you
you've
for
both
this.
been
And
great.
Well,
oh,
Thank
Jackie is
you.
the boss, though. I will make that final point. Jackie is the boss.
She's the chief.
She is the chief.
The chief.
Well, Jackie, we appreciate you joining us here on the BIS podcast today and talking about our new service we offer and in the training department and you being the manager of that. Again, many good things for you down the future with this project. And again, thank you for joining us here today.
I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jackie. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the BIS podcast. We've been broadcasting on the Marvin Network and having some fun doing it. Again, Jackie Martin's been our guest today. Thank you so much, Jackie. Drew, you're my man as always.
Thank you, sir. Adios and via con Dios. Yeehaw.
Once again, thank you for tuning in to another edition of the BIS podcast. We've been broadcasting live on the Marvin Network. Join us next time as we'll be chatting with BIS's own Brandon Lewis on what it means to be cyber safe. For myself, Josh Green, and Drew Whittington, until next time, we say so long and goodbye.